Hey everyone, welcome back to our exciting journey through Shakespeare's Hamlet. Now, in episode 4, it's time to zoom in on the star of the show, Prince Hamlet himself. He's not just any character, he's a tragic hero, and today we're going to figure out what that means and why it matters. Get ready, because we're about to explore what makes Hamlet a tragic hero. The good stuff about him, like his smarts and big heart. The big problem he can't shake, his fatal flaw, his messy relationships with family, friends, and his lost love. The deep thoughts he has about life, death, and everything in between. How it all ends in one of the saddest, most powerful moments in any story.
Who is a tragic hero?
Before we talk about Hamlet, let's figure out what a tragic hero even is. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. The idea comes from way back in ancient Greece, thanks to a smart guy named Aristotle, who wrote about stories in a book called Poetics. He said a tragic hero is someone important, like a prince or a leader, who starts off doing pretty well. They've got good qualities, like bravery or kindness, but they've also got a big weakness. Aristotle called this weakness hamartia, which is just a fancy word for a mistake or flaw that messes everything up. Because of this flaw, the hero falls from their high place and it's super sad to watch. But here's the cool part. Their story makes us feel sorry for them and a little scared, and by the end we feel better, like we've let out all our big emotions. That's called catharsis. So a tragic hero usually has these things going on. They're born into a fancy family or have a big role in life. They've got a flaw, like being too proud, too slow, or too quick to act. They mess up somehow and it flips their life upside down. They figure out what went wrong, but it's usually too late to fix it. They end up with a big fall, often dying, but it somehow makes things right again. Shakespeare loved this idea and made it his own. His tragic heroes aren't just big shots, they're real people with feelings we can relate to. And Hamlet, he's the king of complicated.
Hamlet's noble spirit.
Let's meet Prince Hamlet. He's the son of Denmark's late King Hamlet and Queen Gertrude. When we first see him, he's super sad because his dad died, and to make things worse, his mother married his uncle Claudius way too fast. Like suspiciously fast. Hamlet's not just moping around, though. He's got a lot going for him. First off, he's smart. Like, really smart. He's been to school, he reads books, and he can talk circles around anyone. You can tell from the way he cracks jokes or throws clever insults, especially at people he doesn't like Claudius. He's also got a big heart. He cares about what's right and wrong, and he hates that Denmark has turned into a shady, dishonest place since his dad passed away. Hamlet's not the kind of guy who jumps into a fight without thinking. He's the opposite. He stops and asks big questions like, is it okay to kill someone for revenge? What happens after we die? That makes him different from a lot of heroes who just grab a sword and go. His brain and his feelings are what make him noble, but they're also what get him into trouble. Imagine being Hamlet. You're a prince, you've got all this talent, and everyone expects you to fix things. But the more you think about it, the harder it gets. That's where his story starts to turn tragic.
Hamlet's fatal flaw, the curse of overthinking.
Okay, so every tragic hero has a flaw, right? Hamlet's isn't something obvious like being greedy or mean. His big problem is that he thinks too much. Yep, overthinking is his hamartia, and it's a doozy. Here's how it goes. A ghost, who looks just like his dad, shows up and tells Hamlet, "Hey, Claudius killed me. Get revenge." If this were an action movie, Hamlet would grab a weapon and take Claudius out, no questions asked. But Hamlet's not that guy. Instead, he starts wondering, is this ghost telling the truth? What if it's a trick? Should I really kill someone? He even comes up with a plan to test Claudius by putting on a play that mimics the murder, just to see how the guy reacts. This thinking isn't all bad. It shows he's careful and doesn't want to do something wrong. But it also means he waits and waits and waits. While he's stuck in his head, bad stuff keeps happening. People start dying because he doesn't act fast enough. His most famous line, "To be or not to be, that is the question," is a perfect example. He's sitting there wondering if he should live or die, fight or give up. It's deep and beautiful, but it also shows how stuck he is. Overthinking turns into his curse, and it drags him and everyone around him down.
The madness, real or pretend.
One of the coolest things about Hamlet is that we're never totally sure what's going on in his head. Is he crazy, or is he just pretending? Let's break it down. Early on, Hamlet tells his buddy Horatio, "I'm going to act weird on purpose." He calls it his antic disposition, basically fake madness. Why? Maybe to confuse Claudius or to figure out who he can trust. So he starts saying wild things, dressing sloppy, and acting like he's lost it. But as the play goes on, it gets messy. He yells at his mom, picks fights, and even kills someone by accident. Oops, Polonius. He's mean to Ophelia, the girl he loves, and doesn't seem sorry about the chaos he's causing. Is this still an act, or is he actually breaking down? Here's what some people think. Hamlet starts faking it, but all the stress, losing his dad, fighting with his mom, dealing with a murderer, pushes him over the edge. It's like when you're so upset you can't think straight. By the end, it's hard to tell where the pretending stops and the real pain starts. That's what makes him so interesting.
His relationships, broken bonds and lost love.
Hamlet's not alone in this story. The people around him shape who he is and how his tragedy unfolds. Let's check out his big relationships. With Gertrude, his mother, Hamlet's mad at his mom for marrying Claudius so soon after his dad died. He thinks it's gross and wrong, and he even calls her out on it in a big, emotional scene. But deep down, he still loves her. He just wishes she'd see things his way. With Claudius, his uncle, Hamlet hates Claudius with a passion. Not only did Claudius take the throne, but the ghost says he's a murderer too. Hamlet wants him gone, but he overthinks it, like when he doesn't kill Claudius while he's praying because he doesn't want him to go to heaven. Talk about complicated. With Ophelia, his girlfriend, Hamlet and Ophelia could have been a cute couple, but it all falls apart. He acts cold and mean to her, telling her to "get thee to a nunnery," basically, go away. Maybe he's trying to protect her from his mess, or maybe he's just too upset to be nice. When she dies later, it hits him hard. With Horatio, his best friend, Horatio's the one person Hamlet can count on. He's chill, honest, and sticks by Hamlet no matter what. At the end, Hamlet asks Horatio to tell his story so people know the truth. That's real friendship. These relationships show how torn Hamlet is, between love, anger, and trust.
Hamlet's journey, from confusion to clarity.
Hamlet changes a lot as the play goes on. Here's his journey in simple steps. Act 1. He's sad and confused about his dad's death and his mom's marriage. Acts 2 and 3. He's suspicious, makes plans, and gets super emotional, sometimes yelling, sometimes plotting. Act 4. He gets sent away to England and sees death up close, like when he finds a skull in a graveyard. It starts to sink in that life's short. Act 5. He comes back calmer. He's ready to face whatever happens, even if it means dying. By the end, he's not freaking out anymore. He says to Horatio, "There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow," which means he believes things happen for a reason. It's like he finally finds peace, just in time for everything to go wrong.
The tragic climax: action, redemption and death.
The end of Hamlet is wild. After all that waiting, Hamlet finally acts. He gets into a sword fight with Laertes, Claudius poisons the weapons, and it's a total disaster. Hamlet's mom drinks poison by mistake, Laertes gets stabbed, and Hamlet finally kills Claudius. But here's the kicker: Hamlet gets hurt too, and he doesn't make it. Even though he dies, it's not all for nothing. He makes things right by taking down Claudius, and he gets forgiveness from Laertes. A new guy, Fortinbras, shows up to take over Denmark, so order comes back. Hamlet's last words. The rest is silence, are quiet and sad, but they feel like he's done fighting.
Why Hamlet resonates with us.
Why do we still care about Hamlet today? Because he feels like us. He's sad when someone dies, mad when people lie, and scared about what's next, just like we get sometimes. His big questions: what's the point of life? Can I fix this mess? Are things we all wonder about. He's not perfect, and that's why we root for him.
Conclusion: Hamlet, the timeless tragic hero.
Hamlet's got it all as a tragic hero. He's a prince with a good heart. He messes up by thinking too much. He hurts people without meaning to. He figures it out but can't save himself. He dies, and we feel better after crying for him. Shakespeare made Hamlet more than a character. He's like a friend who shows us what it's like to be human.
Next video, episode 5.
In our next video, we'll explore the major themes that run through the play: revenge, madness, death and the afterlife appearance versus reality, corruption and power. So don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and join us next time as we continue this journey through Hamlet.